Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Cedar House Sessions. We are broadcasting live from sunny Gilda here on Haida territory. The Cedar House Sessions are a collaborative project between the Haida Gwaii Radio Society and the Ging Gang Hla Independent Music and Arts Cooperative. My name is Laura Bishop, and I am so happy to welcome award-winning Anishinaabe, Métis, Francophone, queer, trans, folk blues musician Greyson Gritt to our studio today.
Ani, bonjour. Hello.
Hi, Greyson. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Can we get started with a tune?
I would love to, yeah.
Thank you.
This first song is called Letters and Trees. Gonna take these letters from my room, bring them to some trees. I'll dig a hole and I'll bury them, put them out of their misery. 'Cause now that you've got somebody new, they don't need to carry your words to me. Maybe one day, long, long after I've gone, a forest will honor our memories. Where I used to see your poetry, now I only notice cursive on dead trees. And I think about how many rings have been wasted on you and me. So put these pages back in their place, like I am planting a few seeds. Maybe one day, long, long after I've gone, a forest will honor our memories. And the branches will be waving goodbye underneath the choir of leaves, restless in the wind with all their singing and their dancing. And the branches will be waving goodbye underneath the choir of leaves, rejoicing in a life where I could never be happy. So now that you got somebody new, they don't need to carry your words to me. So they're better off lying there in peace and forgetting all about me.
Hey, thank you. So this is a very special Cedar House session for us because you are the first musician from off islands that we've been able to feature. And we're so grateful that you made the long journey here to perform for us at the Haida Gwaii Arts Council show, and that you agreed to join us here in the Cedar House Session studio.
I wanted to do as many things as possible while here, so I'm thrilled that I was asked. Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah. How has your experience been so far? Any first impressions or notable
so
moments?
Good. It's been so wonderful, and I'm already trying to figure out how to come back. So like we made some great friends who have babies, and so today we just and last night too, but today we just like snuggled some babies, had some coffee, ate some quesadillas, and then went on an awesome hike and saw the salmon like swimming to spawn. And so just got to like walk along the water and be around some huge trees and just see like the circle of life happening. And it's been great. And we rented some scooters and just like zipped around on these little scooters and like froze our butts off a little bit, but like totally happy about it. So yeah.
So worth it.
100%.
Cold knuckles, but wind in your hair.
Yes, definitely. I bought like this wraparound blanket kind of thing at the Kai Center in the gift shop, and so I'm like going and it's like flapping behind me, and I'm like, yeah, this is freedom. Just like so it's been great.
Amazing. Oh, well, we are so grateful to have you here with us. This is amazing.
Oh, me good.
Yeah. Do you mind playing us another song?
Yeah, of course.
Please and thanks.
Yeah. This song is one that I co-wrote with tllḻĩ, who's another member of our group Quantum Tangle, and this one is one that we wrote for our grandmothers. What have you seen in your short, long life? Where did those tiny feet roam? All the things you have done on top of being a wife, a mother, a daughter, a home. What have you seen in your short, long life? What has your heart overcome? The traditional ways that are hidden away can be revived by the beat of a drum. What have you seen in your short, long life? What did those tiny hands do? Stretching, scraping, fixing and making, mending the skins that our souls fit within, stitching nothing can undo. What did those tiny hands do? And what have you seen in your short, long life? What has your heart overcome? The traditional ways that are hidden away can be revived by the beat of a drum. What have you seen in your short, long life? A witness to so many wrongs. Relocation, damnation, misinformation, summation, our nation still strong. And what have you heard in your short, long life? When did they silence your voice? The stories they spun made you swallow your tongue, made you feel like it was your choice. Hey, 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 what have you seen in your short, long life? What has your heart overcome? The traditional ways that are hidden away can be revived by the beat of a drum. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 oh.
Beautiful.
Miigwech. Thank you.
It's so surreal having you here playing that song in person because after you won the Juno, is that 2016?
2017.
2017. We had a little radio show. Well, I did and a friend of mine called Erratic Static, and we did a Juno episode.
Yeah.
And so I bought your EP so that we could play your song on a radio show, and we chose Tiny Hands. So that was pretty exciting.
Thank you.
So not the first time you've been broadcast over the Haida Gwaii Radio Society airwaves.
That's right on. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know.
Low-key super fan over here. So you mentioned during your performance on Friday at the Haida Heritage Center that your songs wind up being just inherently political because of who you are as a person. But your performances are also very warm and very funny.
Thank you.
Which sometimes when I think political, I think that warm and funny is kind of like the other side of the spectrum of that. But is that pairing purposeful, or do you think it serves your messages well?
Well, I think it does serve the messages, but I don't think it's intentional. Like, okay, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna say these jokes or anything. But I think there's kind of two things that happen. So I get nervous before shows. Every show is important, and so I get a little bit nervous, and then I get all tingly and get kind of an excited kind of puppy kind of thing. And so I feel like that comes out in this excited way, and then it just ends up being kind of funny and silly. And I think another thing that happens too is that I get to perform a lot, and you get to test out different ways of introducing your songs. And I know for me, I always want to be impactful. I think if I have a chance to speak on a mic and I have an audience, then that is always an opportunity to educate, or an opportunity to kind of share my experiences, because there's some parts of my experiences, like everyone else, that are unique. And if I can share what that's like, then I think other people, their capacity for empathy and sympathy opens up and kind of expands. And so I always want to take those opportunities to be a little bit more serious and to explain some things. But I think life is also inherently really humorous and really silly and funny. And so I want to bring that in as well. And so when it comes to music's a great way to reach people and say important things that I think normally people might get defensive about. Like, oh, and take things either personally or as I don't know, as a reflection of them not doing enough or something. So I think what music can do is everyone's guard is down because they're enjoying the music, and the message can just kind of come over you. So that's always what I'm hoping for. And then I think between songs, if you can kind of be humorous and show the humanity of I can be really pissed off about this other thing too, but it doesn't mean that that's my whole life. You know, I think of my dad where he's like, oh my God, relax. You're so angry all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not angry all the time. Actually, I'm a pretty good time with life. So you tend to see me in moments where I am passionate, and, sometimes that's anger. Sometimes that's, just being really worked up, and that's okay. But I think I like to feel the whole gamut of feelings. And so, yeah. But humor is important to get that message across too, because like music, it also gets people's guard down when you're when you get to laugh and release that tension. It's it's a really important tool. So if used properly, it means you get to build that understanding and empathy in people that you don't even know. You wouldn't normally go up to someone and tell them about so I'm this and I'm that. But here I am in front of a bunch of folks that I've possibly never known or am just briefly acquainted to. So yeah, humor and music can kind of bridge that gap, and you can get into the deep stuff right away.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining how those tie together, because that was like a major part of your live performance. Was there was some heartbreak and like emotion, but there were so many giggles too, and there's a lot of warmth in that performing house that night. So
I'm glad. I'm glad that came through, and not just like people walking away being sad or being like, oh, the world. It's good to have a good balance. Yeah.
Yeah, the hope's important. Well, can we hear a couple more songs from you, Greyson?
Oh yeah, I would love to do that.
Excellent.
I will consult the list. Here we go. We'll do a love song here. That's close enough. Here we go. The song is called Loving Turns to Lore. High as a mountain, the days you are counting till you come back down and meet me here. Sun shines in the meantime, sunsets to live by. Oh, the dark is easier to bear. Mountains become tundra, become the ocean floor. I'll meet you at the horizon, the tree line, the shore. Years above the sky and at the planet's core. Deep in the ocean, the tide may seem broken, but the coastline knows it's always there. Rays of sun in the meantime light up the seaside, and sunken auroras appear. Mountains become tundra, become the ocean floor. I'll meet you at the horizon, the tree line, the shore. Years above the sky and at the planet's core. Until our loving turns to lore. Until our bones turn to ore. Until our loving turns to Lord. And mountains become tundra, become the ocean floor. I'll meet you at the horizon, tree line, the shore. Years above the sky and at the planet's core. until our loving turns to Lord, until our bones turn to ore, until our loving turns to Lord. Until our loving turns to Lord. Yeah. I'll do another tune. Although I feel like folks should have a behind the scenes camera to just show how Pete was lying down right in front here and like posing like he was like, draw me like one of your French girls. With his camera in the front. It was quite graceful. So I was just like, I hoped you would like pan and be like, there he is. I think it was worth noting.
We'll have to include it in our 1 year anniversary special.
I think that'd be a good idea because like that was really impressive. I'm like, I would have knocked over that camera, hit that table, unplugged 4 cords. Like,
yeah, he made it through. He only hit the light on his way out.
Yeah, like that's impressive.
Yeah.
I'd also like twisted my ankle, so I'm like really impressed. I think that'll be all right. This song is called Lipstick and Pearls. You got your white freshwater pearls. You got some big blue thoughts, baby, and I could use some of that color in my world. Color in my world. Color in my world. Color in my world. Yeah, yeah. You got a wicked sharp tongue. And I've got these edges that I'd love to offer up. You got some beautiful words, but I got these vivid verbs. I wanna shake you, shake you up. Wanna shake you up. Wanna shake you up. Oh, wanna shake you up. Got a big bad beating red heart. These little brown eyes have seen it break a time or two, and a million crimson shards make a mosaic of my heart. If you've seen it from the start, you'd agree it looks better with a little bit of you, little bit of you. Little bit of you, ooh. Little bit of you. You, whoa, whoa, oh, you, you, whoa, whoa, you.
Nice. That's a gritty one.
Yeah, a little bit.
We like things gritty around here. I don't know if you could tell.
Just keeping it real.
Keeping it real. So you are heading to Victoria soon to record a new album. Fun fact I learned today. In addition to being a skilled musician, you are also a professional sound technician.
Yes. Yep. 100%.
And you've done sound design and editing for film and for TV and for stage production.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how will that play into your recording process? How involved will you be in the technical aspects of this new album?
Well, up to now, like, so Quantum Tangle released an EP and a full-length album, 8-song full-length album. And so for both of those projects, I co-produced them, and I also recorded them. So recording, I mixed them. We sent it off for mastering. So like I've been super involved in the past with every part of it, just about. Back in the day, I would also like record my own songs and then like burn them onto CD and have them printed on the CD, and then like I would make all the album art and then fold everything together, glue it together. So I used to be very like hands-on kind of DIY. And finally in 2017, when we released the full-length album, we were like, no, we're gonna get an artist to do this and we're gonna have it printed like professionally. And that was such a relief to not have to do those things, because it never quite turns out how you want it to. And like there is something that's really like darling about getting a musician's CDs that are like handwritten and things like that, but it ends up being so much work. So like when you get that, it's like it's really special, but there's just not really time for that anymore. So for this album that I'm going to go work on, I'm going to go work in Victoria for this month for in the month of October, doing the kind of pre-production and writing and all that stuff, the arrangements and all that. And I'm going to do it with the help of Ray Spoon. And so for that part, I think we'll probably have like we'll put down some like bed tracks or like kind of some ghost tracks just to build up the songs. And so for that, I'll be pretty involved in like recording things and plugging things in, making sure we're recording everything. But when it comes to going into the studio in December back in Victoria on Gabriola Island, for that, it's going to be so nice because I'm not going to have to worry about anything but performance. So that'll be the first time ever, really, for my own music in any case, to be able to walk into a studio and like someone else had to, you know, set up the mics and have those options ready, and they have the session ready, and they're the ones who are going to press record, and, you know, Ray will be there to help, you know, move things along, say, no, that was a great vocal take. We can leave that there, instead of me obsessing over it for like 50 hours. Is it this one or this one? You know, like an optometrist of like, take 1, take 2, take 1, take 2, 3, 2. And just like going out of my mind. So it'll be really great to have other people there, give input and say, no, you can move on. That's really great. And at the end of the day, when it's, you know, when things are done, it's not like another few hours of me editing and doing this and that. It'll be kind of like we'll mix together kind of after we've recorded. We'll mix it as we go, but then we'll actually have time to like sit and mix, and I won't be the only one listening. So I'm actually so excited because it's like so much work is just going to be like spread out between 3 or 4 brains or more at a time, and that'll just be such a relief. So yeah, it's nice to not be the one doing all the technical stuff, even though you can. It's nice to just like be like, please, you do that. And now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm comfortable to do that, of like, please take the wheel, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that.
Sounds like you got a solid team behind you.
Yeah, I feel really lucky, like wicked lucky, because Ray has also agreed to release my album on their record label.
Whoa.
Which is amazing, and I'm like over the moon because Ray was such a like inspiration for me, and they've you know, unofficially mentored me for the last few years, and when I need advice, I'll call them up, and they're always so generous with their time and with their knowledge and wisdom. And so yeah, I just feel like I'm in really good hands.
Amazing. Well, looking forward to hearing that when it's all ready to come out.
Yeah, me too. I'm like nervous and scared and excited and like all the things.
All the things, all the feels.
All the feels.
The full gamut of feels. With that, we're nearing the end of our Cedar House session. This episode has been amazing. Thanks so much for tuning in, to those of you who are listening and watching. And thanks again to Greyson Gritt for joining us here. If you are digging their stuff and you'd like to find more, you can check it out on Bandcamp, or you can go to greygrit.com. So once again, thank you so much, Greyson.
Miigwech, thank you. Merci for having me.
Can you play us out with a final tune?
I would love to.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. That's technically the right tuning. So here we go again. Did I tell you about my new ability to manipulate the weather? How else do you explain the excessive amount of rain that has been drowning us upright since September? I am choking out the sun. I don't want it to breathe on me and evaporate the fallen water that has found comfort in my clothes. Each new member adding weight to simulate your hands on my shoulders. And I don't need protection from the sky that I realize, except that we still share at the same time. I don't need protection from the sky. Just look up with my smile, trying to hide. 'Cause truth is, I soak in the rain to be consoled with the hope that these drops may have once touched your skin. From where I sit, I am visiting the world, but I just wanna be home again. I said I soak in the rain to be consoled with the hope that these drops may have once touched your skin. From where I sit, I am visiting the world, but I just wanna be where you live. And I am so cold, I bet you could catch some of my breath when I confess that I have been missing you to death. Glitch. Thank you. Merci. Hawa.